Guys, now let's move to one of the most important, most essential part of your course, especially if you are talking about metabolism. The metabolism can never be, I mean, you can never really dig into the different aspects of metabolism if you don't include TCA, tricarboxylic acid cycle, or Krebs cycle in it. Krebs cycle is central in the metabolic processes. There are many reasons why it is central. One is that it's the final pathway of the oxidative catabolism, यानी कि ऑक्सीडेटिव तरीके से आपको जो एनर्जी मिलती है उसके दिस इज फाइनल. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ पायरुवेट इज प्रोड्यूस्ड, if fatty acids are produced, if proteins are produced, all of them at the very end of the day are catabolized, giving rise to the formation of carbon dioxide and ATP. They all at the end of the day are catabolized through the pathway known as TCA. At the end of the day, it's the TCA which ultimately gives you the energy from these compounds. Actually, from all the compounds, I must say. That's to the centrality of these this important pathway. There are many anaplerotic reactions which are involved in TCA. We will go into detail of these more specifically when we will come towards that topic. But at the moment, keep in mind that जब pathway हो रहा होता है TCA का, there are many, I mean, from the products of these pathways or intermediates of these pathways are used in other pathways also. So then anaplerotic reactions are those reactions in which the intermediates of the Krebs cycle or the TCA cycle are used for other pathways also. आपको पता है यहाँ आपके प्रोटीन्स भी बनती हैं, डिफरेंट तरह के इसमें आपके एमिनो एसिड्स बन रहे हैं, इसमें आपके डीएनए बन रहा है, इसमें आपके फैटी एसिड्स बन रहे हैं, एंड सो फॉर्थ. तो इन सब के सब रिएक्शंस में अल्टीमेटली यू विल यूज द मेटाबोलाइट्स ऑफ द टीसीए. तो इनको फिलअप करने के लिए रिएक्शन होते हैं कि ये कंटिन्यूस रहे, ये ना हो कि इंटरमीडिएट दूसरे में जा रहा है, रिएक्शन में जा रहा है, तो यहाँ आपका क्रेब्स साइकिल रुक जाए. तो इसके लिए एक मैकेनिज्म है दैट देयर इज कंटिन्यूस generation of these metabolites so that there is no lack of these catabolites or metabolites. तो ये हम तफसील से पढ़ेंगे जब हम एनाप्लेरोटिक रिएक्शंस को ज़रा तफसील से स्पेसिफिकली डिस्कस करेंगे in the coming days. Then, of course, whenever we're talking about any metabolic pathway, the energy producing compounds, especially those compounds which act as the currency, the carrier of the energy, we have to focus on them. And of course, the ATP is the central compound of them. So we have to know that how ATP is produced in the tricarboxylic acid cycle. You have to focus on that part of. Location of TCA is very important. It's of course in mitochondria. It's taking place in the matrix of the mitochondria. What is the importance that is taking place in the matrix of the mitochondria? Because the ETC, the electron transport chain is taking place into the membrane, inner mitochondrial membrane. तो दोनों साथ साथ हैं. माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया क्रेब्स साइकिल भी साथ चल रहा है, एटीसी भी साथ चल रहा है. क्या है को साथ चल रहा है? Because the products of the Krebs cycle are utilized in the ETC to produce the ATP, and we will see in detail when we'll be talking about Krebs cycle in detail. And also, by the way, you must have a little bit of idea of it because you have been taught in detail कि ETC कैसे होता है, सक्सीनेट कैसे जाकर उसमें करता है, NADHU कैसे एंटर होता है ATC में, और किस तरीके से प्रोटॉन पंपिंग के थ्रू आपको ATP मिलती है. आपको सारा इसका पता होना चाहिए. अगेन देखें, आप किसी भी मेटाबॉलिक पाथवे की बात करें तो इट्स नॉट ऑल अबाउट एनर्जी प्रोड्यूसिंग. हमें यही नहीं ध्यान में रखना है कि एनर्जी कितनी प्रोड्यूस हो रही है. आपको ये भी देखना है कि और कितने पाथवेज पर डिपेंड कर रहे हैं, ये कितने मॉलिक्यूल्स बना रहा है. So it is both catabolism and anabolism also. You get amino acids, lots of amino acids are coming out of the pathway of this of Krebs cycle. Then the nucleotides purine and pyrimidines are also coming out of Krebs cycle, and then fatty acids also. तो इस तरीके से ये एक हब है सेंट्रल Krebs cycle, जिसमें कि वो तमाम मॉलिक्यूल्स या बहुत सारे ऐसे मॉलिक्यूल्स बन रहे हैं जो कि फर्दर जाकर मुख्तलिफ pathways में काम करते हैं. Even if you are seeing my hand are moving, these hands are made up of proteins and carbohydrates, and you could think of this that what Krebs cycle is doing not only in providing the energy but also in making these structures. ये structures proteins वगैरह कहाँ से बनी? amino acid से बनी. कार्बोहाइड्रेट से कहाँ से आए? different product, different carbohydrate moieties से आए, simple carbohydrates से, और then they give rise to polysaccharides and so on. तो वहाँ आप फिर देखें कि क्या सेंट्रलिटी है Krebs cycle की. हम आने वाले दिनों में, आने वाले लेक्चर में, we will be talking a lot about these different aspects of the TCA, and then you will realize that how important and how beautiful also, how interesting it is also when you learn that how energy is produced and how different compounds are broken down and how the new compounds are formed from this central reaction pathway known as TCA.